What began as just another night in hip-hop, a packed venue, flashing cameras, fans screaming with anticipation, suddenly transformed into the kind of scandal you only read about in tabloids. Except this time, it wasn't some exaggerated rumor or gossip column piece. This was real. This was raw. And this was messy on a level hip-hop hasn't seen in years. At the center of it all, Eazy The Block Captain, once hailed as the next big thing in battle rap. And Remy Ma, a legendary figure who had placed her trust, her credibility, and maybe even her reputation on him. The betrayal was public. The fallout was immediate. And the chaos that followed was nothing short of explosive. Now, let's rewind to the moment everything shifted. Eazy didn't just distance himself from Remy Ma, the very woman who had mentored and defended him. No, he did the unthinkable, he publicly dumped her. Not behind closed doors, where the damage could be contained. Not with a quiet conversation that respected the years of loyalty she had shown him. But right in front of a roaring crowd, with the cameras rolling and the internet watching. In that instant, what should have been a night of hip-hop bravado and performance became the stage for one of the most disrespectful and humiliating moments the culture has ever witnessed. And then enter 50 Cent, a man who built an empire on pettiness, clapbacks, and never letting a slight go unanswered. A man who has turned trolling into an art form, who has transformed confrontation into currency, and who thrives in chaos like a general in the middle of a war zone. The moment Eazy humiliated Remy, 50 didn't just respond, he detonated. Eyewitnesses say the energy in the room changed instantly. The tension snapped like a gunshot. The crowd felt the shift. The atmosphere thickened. And before anyone could fully process what had just gone down, 50 was already on the move. This wasn't just a personal clash. This wasn't just about one man disrespecting another's friend or peer. This moment carried weight because of the players involved and the narratives that had already been swirling around them. For months, there had been whispers that Eazy wasn't just Remy's protege, that their relationship wasn't purely professional. Whether those whispers were true didn't even matter because the internet had already made up its mind. And once the internet decides, the damage is often irreversible. The optics alone were enough to put Remy in a vulnerable position, one that many said she should have seen coming. Remy Ma isn't new to controversy. This is a woman who has weathered rap beefs, industry politics, and even prison time. Her comeback was nothing short of remarkable. And when she returned to the spotlight, the industry rooted for her. She fought for her place, she defended her legacy, and she built a reputation as someone who couldn't be easily broken. But by tying herself so closely to Eazy, whether intentionally or simply by circumstance, she gave her critics ammunition. The whispers of mentorship turned into rumors of something more personal, and when those rumors spread, they threatened to overshadow her hard-earned respect. So when Eazy chose that stage, that moment, that crowd, to publicly turn on her, it wasn't just betrayal. It was humiliation on a scale that even Remy Ma, battle-tested as she is, had never experienced. And this is where 50 Cent's role becomes undeniable. Say what you want about him, but 50 has always understood the game better than anyone else. He knows perception is more powerful than reality. He knows memes and headlines travel faster than facts. And he knows how to weaponize a moment to his advantage. Witnesses claim you could see the change in his face that night, the switch flipping from amusement to fury. 1 second, he was sipping his drink, enjoying the show. The next, he was storming toward the chaos like a man on a mission. Security scrambled to keep up, but the damage was already done. 50 had inserted himself into the narrative, and once that happens, there's no turning back. Some reports claim he confronted Eazy directly. One anonymous source swore 50 leaned in and warned him, "You don't play with Remy like that. Not here. Not in front of me. Not in front of the culture." Another insider alleged that 50 told him flat out, "Hip-hop doesn't forgive disrespect, and neither do I." Were these quotes real? Maybe, maybe not. But in the world of hip-hop, it doesn't matter. The internet believed them instantly, and that was enough. Because in this business, perception is reality. The fallout spread like wildfire. Within minutes, clips of Eazy's public dumping of Remy hit Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Memes erupted. Reaction videos flooded timelines. Gossip blogs went into overdrive. One viral meme showed 50 Cent smirking with the caption, "When you're about to end 2 careers before dessert." Another showed a stunned Remy with the words, "Sis didn't see that one coming." Brutal, merciless, and viral. The internet doesn't just report scandals, it weaponizes them. And this one was no exception. But the chaos didn't end on stage. No, that was just the opening act. According to multiple reports, the real explosion happened backstage. When the lights dimmed and the cameras stopped rolling, the tension followed everyone into the back halls. Witnesses claimed Remy was pacing, furious, screaming at Eazy, "You made me look weak. You made me look stupid." Others said she snapped at 52, hissing, "This wasn't your fight. You just made it worse." Whether those reports were accurate or exaggerated didn't even matter. Once the blogs published them, the narrative wrote itself. Remy wasn't just humiliated in public, she was unraveling in private. Meanwhile, Eazy tried to play it cool, but it's hard to act unfazed when the entire internet is branding you the villain. Some fans swore they saw him smirking on the way out, as if he enjoyed the chaos he had created. Others claimed he looked terrified, ducking behind security as 50s people loomed nearby. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain. Eazy was no longer the rising star. He was the reckless rookie who crossed the wrong people. And in hip-hop, that's the kind of move that can end a career overnight. Remy, on the other hand, was left to pick up the pieces. And the optics were brutal. Critics questioned her judgment. Why had she defended him so fiercely? Why had she tied her brand to someone so unpredictable? The whispers of mentorship turned into accusations of enabling. And for someone like Remy, who had fought tooth and nail to rebuild her credibility, that kind of narrative cut deeper than betrayal itself. And 50? He didn't retreat. He didn't back down. He leaned into the chaos. His Instagram lit up with cryptic captions, photos of him smirking with the words, "Don't play with family." A mic on the floor captioned, "Respect or get checked." Fans dissected every post, every emoji, every smirk, turning his feed into a second battlefield. 50 doesn't give answers. He gives bait, and the world always bites. The industry fallout came swiftly. Rumors spread that Eazy's phone stopped ringing the next morning. Promoters who had been eager to book him suddenly went silent. One insider claimed that 3 deals worth over $500,000 evaporated overnight. Another alleged that even battle rap leagues, the very foundation of his career, were debating whether bringing him back was worth the drama. One promoter put it bluntly, "We book artists for hype, not headaches. And Eazy? He's a headache now." However, according to multiple insiders in the industry, Eazy has been moving through different circles, battle rap leagues, small studio sessions, even interviews dropping hints and making comments that point fingers at Remy Ma's character. He's reportedly been suggesting that Remy isn't as loyal as she presents herself to be, that her image of strength and respect in hip-hop is just a mask, and that behind closed doors, she's been moving in ways that compromise her credibility. Now, when we break this down, we have to be real. Eazy's not just some anonymous hater on the internet. This is someone who has a platform, who has been put in positions because of the very woman he's now targeting. Remy Ma gave Eazy opportunities that most battle rappers would kill for. She stood by him, defended his talent when critics said he wasn't ready, and gave him access to stages that could have taken him years to reach on his own. So when someone you've built up starts spreading whispers about you, that's not just betrayal, it's an attack on the foundation of trust. But here's the kicker. People close to the situation say these so-called rumors have no truth to them. None. No evidence, no receipts, no credibility, just talk. And in an industry where perception is reality, sometimes that's all it takes to plant seeds of doubt. Which begs the question, why would Eazy even go there in the first place? To understand the weight of these accusations, you have to understand who Remy Ma is in hip-hop. This is a woman who has fought tooth and nail for every ounce of respect she has. From her early days under Big Pun's mentorship to her years with Terror Squad, to her prison sentence that could have easily ended her career, Remy has survived storms that would have drowned lesser artists. She came back swinging, delivered hits, secured her spot as one of the fiercest women to ever hold a mic, and never once wavered on her authenticity. Her reputation isn't just about the music, it's about her integrity. People respect Remy not only for her bars, but for the fact that she's always stood 10 toes down. She's loyal, she's solid, and in a culture where credibility means everything, that's the kind of reputation you protect at all costs. So when someone like Eazy starts hinting at lies that chip away at that image, it's not just messy, it's dangerous. Because if the wrong people start to believe those whispers, it can reshape the narrative around Remy in ways that no comeback verse can fix. And let's be real here. Remy has had to fight her whole career against stereotypes and disrespect that come with being a woman in hip-hop. She's been judged harsher, scrutinized deeper, and questioned more than most of her male peers. So for Eazy, a man she gave a platform to turn around and weaponize those same stereotypes against her, that's not just a rumor, that's an act of war. This is where the story takes a turn, because if Eazy thought he was just talking slick and nothing would come of it, he miscalculated badly. Enter 50 Cent. Now, 50 doesn't need an introduction, but let's set the scene. This is a man whose entire career has been defined by his ability to check people, call out lies, and destroy reputations. He's made a living off of beef. From Ja Rule to Rick Ross, from industry insiders to television rivals, 50 has shown time and time again that he thrives in conflict, and more importantly, he never loses. So when word reached 50 that Eazy was dragging Remy Ma's name through the mud, his reaction was predictable: anger. Pure, unfiltered anger. Because here's the thing, Remy and 50 go way back. There's a mutual respect between them that isn't built on hype, but on surviving in an industry that eats people alive. 50 knows what it means to have your character questioned. He knows how damaging false rumors can be. So when he saw Eazy trying to rewrite the narrative around Remy, he wasn't just annoyed, he was personally offended. Insiders say 50 didn't hold back, whether it was in private conversations or public shade. He made it clear that Eazy crossed a line. Some even claim 50 confronted him directly, allegedly saying something along the lines of, "You don't touch Remy's name unless it's with respect. You spread lies, you pay the price." And if that sounds harsh, well, that's 50. He doesn't sugarcoat. And in this case, he's not just protecting a friend, he's protecting the integrity of the culture. So what does this mean for Eazy? Well, let's just say his future isn't looking too bright right now. Because the truth is, once you get on 50 Cent's bad side, the industry tends to follow. Promoters, labels, battle rap leagues, they all pay attention to who's in 50's good graces and who isn't. And right now, Eazy is not. Already, whispers are circulating that certain doors are closing for him. Promoters don't want the drama. Brands don't want the controversy. And leagues don't want to risk being caught in the crossfire of something that could spiral out of control. The irony here is that Eazy probably thought he was creating buzz for himself by attaching his name to Remy's. After all, controversy sells, right? But in this case, the backlash is outweighing the attention. Instead of looking like the bold upstart willing to speak his truth, he's looking like the bitter protege who bit the hand that fed him. And in hip-hop, nobody respects that. Even his fans are divided. Some are calling him out directly, saying he went too far, that there's no reason to attack Remy when she's the one who gave him opportunities. Others are standing by him. But the numbers don't lie, support is slipping, and the hate is growing louder. And once the narrative turns against you, it's almost impossible to reverse it. As for Remy, she's been quiet, publicly at least. And that silence speaks volumes. Because Remy Ma isn't someone who reacts out of emotion. She's calculated. She knows her reputation is stronger than a few false rumors, and she's not about to give Eazy more shine by engaging with him directly. But make no mistake, this isn't over. Behind the scenes, you can bet Remy is watching carefully, taking note of who's standing with her and who's staying silent. She survived bigger scandals than this, and every time she's come out stronger. If she chooses to address Eazy, it'll be on her terms, in her timing, and in a way that reminds everyone why her voice carries weight in this culture. Remy wasn't spared either. While many fans rallied behind her as the victim, others weren't so forgiving. They questioned why she had stood by him, why she defended him so fiercely, why she tied her credibility to someone who clearly wasn't ready for the spotlight. The narrative shifted from Remy the survivor to Remy the enabler. And that kind of stain doesn't just wash away. But 50? Once again, he walked away stronger, untouchable. His name trended higher than it had in months. His brand of dominance was reinforced. He had turned someone else's chaos into his own victory. And the internet crowned him king of the storm. So where does this leave us? Eazy the Block Captain branded as reckless, radioactive, and cut off from opportunities. Remy Ma humiliated in public, criticized in private, and fighting to hold onto her credibility. And 50 Cent, standing tall in the middle of the chaos, larger than life, furious, unrelenting, and impossible to ignore. One shocking public betrayal, one furious explosion, and an entire industry left picking up the pieces. But was it real? Was it staged? Was Eazy manipulated into making a career-ending mistake? Or was this all part of a bigger power play orchestrated by 50 himself? Fans have theories. Some claim this was a PR stunt gone wrong. Others swear 50 masterminded the entire ordeal, setting a trap that Eazy walked into blindly. And then there are those who believe Remy herself sacrificed her image to make Eazy the fall guy. Whatever the truth, one fact is undeniable: the damage is permanent. Scandals fade. Memes eventually die down. But reputations? They live forever. And this scandal has already rewritten 3 of them. Eazy will forever be remembered as the man who dumped Remy Ma in public and caught 50 Cent's wrath. Remy will forever carry the stain of putting her faith in the wrong protege. And 50 Cent? He will be remembered once again as the man who turned chaos into proof of his untouchable power. So, the bigger question is what happens next? Does Eazy somehow claw his way back from the ashes? Or has he already signed his own career death certificate? Does Remy ever recover the credibility she lost in that humiliating moment? Or has the mentor-turned-enabler label stuck for good? And 50 Cent, did he defend loyalty and respect in the rawest way possible? Or did he simply hijack the moment to prove, once again, that he thrives where others crumble? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation isn't ending anytime soon. And if you want more raw, unfiltered breakdowns of the scandals shaking the industry, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here at Gossip Spill Vibe, we don't just sip the tea, we pour the whole damn pot. The next scandal is already brewing, and you better be ready when it spills.